Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to set audio parameters in a Metasound using blueprints or C++. I'm going to create an effect of the audio quality worsening as the player moves further away from an object. So first we'll make a Metasound that contains a wave player and a bit crusher. Any parameter you wish to drive using blueprints or code, you must drag out from the pin of the value you're wanting to change and promote it to a graph input. Now in the blueprint we will add the default audio component and use it to call our newly created Metasound. In the blueprint, on tick, which probably isn't the best place to do this, but for sake of brevity I'll show it here, we will get the player pawn node and then get the distance to node, and we leave the target set as self. Then using a branch, we'll make an if statement that checks if the value is greater than whatever number. Next, make a float and set whatever values you like for your audio effect. Now we can add our SetFloatParameter nodes. You can get the correct one by dragging out from your audio reference and searching. SetFloatParameter must be a control interface. If you select the default audio one, this won't work. It's also necessary that the text field perfectly matches the name of the parameter in the Metasound. This is case sensitive and it reads spaces. Here's the same thing in C++. Firstly, make a new C++ class in Unreal, select actor, and name it whatever you want. In the header file, we set the mesh for the actor, along with the audio component, a float variable, and a function to call to set the value. Be sure to include all necessary header files for the components. We'll need to include the game framework, player controller to access the player pawn, and we will need Kismet gameplay statics to access the player controller. In the constructor, in the CPP file, set up the mesh and the audio components, and you can add an initial value for the float. In our function we made, called setAudioParameter, we will check if our audio component is valid, then use the setFloatParameter function. This takes two values, same as the blueprint node, a string and a float. Now in tick, we will need to access the player controller, check if it's valid, and then access the pawn from the player controller. We can now use the getDistance function and check the value in an if statement, and then call our setAudioParameter function, being sure to have the correct name again that matches the one in the Metasound. Thank you for watching.